Welcome back to Houston Life on this National Voter Registration Day. For more than 100 years, the League of Women Voters of Houston has been promoting civic engagement and empowering voters to make their voices heard. All year long, they're out in the community helping register voters and providing nonpartisan education and support. Here to answer some common questions about all things voting, Priscila True, Vice President of Voter Services with the League of Women Voters of Houston. Priscila, it's great to see you. Welcome to Houston Life.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's busy season, it's go time. The deadline to register to vote is?
October 7th. It's always 30 days before the election.
Okay, always 30 days before the election. And obviously election law differs from state to state. Here in Texas, people can't actually register to vote online. You can check your voter registration online. What's the best, most streamlined way for people to register if they have not?
Yes, so you can go to the Secretary of State's website. On there, you can actually fill out the form and then print it out. It has a prepaid stamp, and then you can mail it yourself, but you can also go register with one of our VDVRs. We have 40 locations all across Houston this week, and then we will help you. We will bring the forms. We're all eligible to be able to register you to vote, and we'll do it on the spot.
Okay, what about at post offices? Is that still
We do
possible?
have those available. So at some of the locations, you'll have post offices, libraries in the county and the city, and you can ask one of the clerks there and see if they have one available. And we have little boxes placed there for you.
Okay, fantastic. So just as a recap, no, you cannot in the state of Texas register to vote online, but in person at your local voter registrar or with a volunteer. And as we mentioned at the top of this segment, the League of Women Voters Houston, they are out in the community all year long.
All year long. We've actually already registered 15,000 voters this year.
Wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations. The Houston Voters Guide. So this is a tool that is really helpful when it comes to Election Day. And it's all about accessibility, right? I understand this is printed in multiple languages?
Yes, we have it in 4 languages: English, Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. We also have it as an audiobook, but you can get it as an ebook. You can look at it online or have a printed copy. So we make it as accessible as you want.
That's perfect. Right now on our website, by the way, HoustonLife.tv, we do have a link to that Houston Voter Guide. Just look for that scene on Houston Life section of HoustonLife.tv. VoteTexas.gov. So if people visit this website, they can actually request that a form be mailed to their home?
Yes, correct. They can get it mailed, or they can fill it out and print it out and mail it themselves. They can check if they're registered to vote, and they can also do a name change or change of address.
Okay. If someone has registered previously to vote, they should be set. You always encourage that people verify their voter registration online,
yes,
just in case by some fluke their name was purged from the voter rolls. How do they check their existing registration?
So votetexas.gov, you can actually go on there and it says, am I registered? Once you go on there, if you see that there's a status that says suspense on your voter registration, then you know there's an issue and you need to resolve it. So that's the time that you would do either the name change or resubmit a form or go to the registrar's office to ensure that you get all those changes made.
Okay, if you are doing something like a name change, can that be done online for existing registration?
Yes, as long as you're registered to vote, you can do a name change online.
Okay, I know we're covering a lot of ground here, so hopefully y'all are taking notes. But again, you can visit the League of Women Voters Houston website or visit HoustonLife.tv. Deadline to register, as we mentioned, is October 7th. Let's talk about first-time voters. Maybe some of these first-time voters are college students. They've moved away, they're not living at home. What do they need to keep in mind? Can they use a home address and register at home, or do they need to register there at their college address?
So it's really their option. We recommend that you register at your college address some of the times because you're in a dorm, but there are addresses for that. You can also request a mail-in ballot, or you can vote, come here, vote during early voting if you're registered in Harris County.
Okay, but that does involve traveling back to Harris County, traveling back home to vote. Early voting, what's the situation right now? What's the very first day that people can vote if they choose to go to one of those locations?
It goes on for 2 weeks, and then election day will be November 5.
Okay, so 2 weeks leading up to the election, early voting.
Correct.
is
And then
available.
there are some dates that are on the weekend, so it's always helpful for those that work during the weekdays. Polls are always going to be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay. A few years ago, I remember during an election, I had a really challenging experience where I waited in line on the campus of TSU, and lines were very, very long. Polling places, it's never too early to get familiar with your polling place because sometimes they do change. Is that correct?
Yes, so actually in Harris County, you can vote at any polling location. So say if you're at work, you can go to the Harris County website and put your address, and it'll give you all of the polling locations, and it even has a time. So it'll tell you the line is 5 minutes long, and or look at the one at your house. Usually there's about 700 locations, so you have a lot of options within the county to go vote.
Right. And so if you get, if you find it more convenient to vote near work or school versus home, then you have all of those options. We're seeing some images right now of the League of Women Voters Houston out in the community doing their thing. So again, if you see them at one of these community events, Priscilla, everyone on staff is very, very kind. I can confirm that. They will answer any questions you have. Is that correct?
Yes, we're happy to answer absolutely every single question that you might have. And we have a lot of people that have been with us, and we know election law, and we want to be there for community, ensure that we can help you get there.
We appreciate that so much. Out of time, but how do we get one of those shirts?
So you can actually go to our website. If you make a $30 donation, you will get your Houston Voter shirt. And we actually use the funds to provide information for first-time voters and different people, election readiness packages. So we would love for you to wear our shirt and then also support our initiatives.
It's good stuff. It's very, very important, especially young people, 18 to 24 years old. Typically, they don't have the best track record when it comes to voting, so let's get those voter numbers up. Priscila True, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's great to see you. Happy election season. Happy National Voter Registration Day, everyone. If you would like to learn more about the League of Women Voters Houston and access the online resources Priscilla just mentioned, again, we have put a link on the Scene on Houston Life section of our website, houstonlife.tv.